Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? This is going to be a video on how to AFK farm the Jeju Island portal with Tiny Task. If you want to download this, it'll be in the description. Once you go there and you download it and you open it up, go to prefabs, play speed times 1, make sure continuous playback is turned on with a high playback set loop. My recording hotkey is set to F8. Playback hotkey will be Control-Shift-Alt-P. Make sure it's always on top, that way if you click on to Roblox it won't disappear. Then you're going to need units like Sukuna or high damage units. If you have your own units, you'll have to just modify it your own way a little bit. It won't be that hard. And then a buff unit and farm units. I have a Senko with gold 3 and Asta with gold 1. And I'm going to assume that you already have the Jeju portal if you look this video up. You go to your portals, you go to Jeju, you start it. Then, once you're in the Jeju Island, you're going to want to click Fast Wave, vote Start, and you want to wait until the enemies make it all the way to the end. And that will take a while, so just be prepared to wait, because there's not really much you can do about it. So, I'll be right back when I've lost and the enemies have went to the end. Okay, that took a while, 5 minutes, but once you're here, you want to make sure your Tiny Task is open, make sure it's on continuous playback, obviously, with its playback loop set to high, make sure you know your recording hotkey, make sure you know your playback hotkey, make sure it's always on top. Then, you don't want to be too close, especially if your units don't deal enough damage, because the main source of damage that we want here is from the Shrine. We want the Malevolent Shrine ability from Sukuna. And I'd say a good spot that you can set up is probably down here. This ring is a good spot. And once you're in this ring, I like to face my camera towards this road. Zoom out just a little bit, so that way you can see this edge. Look down just a little bit. Probably align your top of the screen with the top of this row. Then click. I'm going to do this fast, so you might want to do this faster than me if you can, but click F8 to start recording, retry, fast wave, click yes. Make sure you use the corresponding number for your unit. My Senko set to 5, so click 5. And that applies for the rest of the units, is just use the numbers on your keyboard. Place down your farm units. Now, this stage is way easier than any other ones because all of these units are walking, which means you don't have to account for them running or anything. Make sure that when you click on your unit, you're pressing T to upgrade them, and it'll probably take them about 20 waves before they even reach down here. So you'll be completely fine to farm as much money as you need. There's no rush, really. You killing the enemies faster doesn't make them spawn in faster. So there's no need to really rush this at all. Now remember, you don't drag off your screen or anything because Tiny Task will be constantly recording your movements, so if you drag off your screen, every time you play your Tiny Task, it'll do that movement over and over again, which you don't want it running wild on your computer, especially if you have something on your second screen or anything else. This is mainly for if you're going to sleep and you want to be grinding all night. You want to be able to get all those good loot items. You want to be able to get Egress, and you want to be able to get Bwaaahhhhhh and your evolution traits and stuff. The main point is, you're not going to be here for this at all, but you do need to take the time down and you need to record it before you go to sleep. So it's a little scoffed, but with it you'll be able to farm the entire night while you're snoozing in your bed. Place down your Sukuna with your buff unit. Make sure Sukuna's upgraded. Now if you have other units, you kind of have to figure out the best way for you, but if you have Sukuna and he has pretty good stats and he has Exodia, you should be able to just copy this down exactly as I do it. It's not too hard to get Sukuna in the first place or to farm magic balls and gems. I'll make another video on how to farm just magic balls and gems if you can't complete the honey rush like I did in my last video. Rimuru is also pretty good for this as well. He does a lot of damage, especially to bosses. So if you have strong damaging units, you probably only need Rimuru and Sukuna, or just Sukuna by himself, especially on this spot. His ring is so big that it covers this entire spot, where you could probably leave him here himself and he'd be able to clear it out. He'll do it himself if you didn't use his Malevolent Shrine, most likely. But once you have your units down, you can just want to wait until wave 30. There's not really much to do. Just make sure not to move your mouse if you're already done and set up. And don't click away. Make sure you stay on Roblox the entire time while you're recording this. If you look at Tiny Task, it shows that it's recording. That's how you know. It also shows how much time has passed. If you want a way to calculate how much like gems or coins or whatever you earn during this time, let's say I was doing the honey rush, you get 2,000 gems, 2,000 magic balls, 2,000 coins, just that kind of stuff, and 2,000 honey. When you end it and you play the Tiny Task, it'll show how many times it repeated itself. And let's just say it repeated like 50 times. You just multiply 2,000 times 50 and you have your answer there. That's how many magic balls you got while you were snoozing in your bed, letting this run in the background. And when you come back, your pockets will be filled with items and such. You'll probably be able to make multiple Igrises or Barus with this, even probably evolve multiple Sungjin Woos. You'll just be able to do multiple stuff with this while you're snoozing. And there we go. We're on wave 30. So now you want to wait a little bit and then use your Malevolent Shrine. You should be able to kill them. Especially if you have one like mine. He's super buffed up and doing a lot of damage. But if you don't, you can activate Rimuru, or if you have another person with another ability like that, you go ahead. But once the shrine disappears, you go to the bottom right, spam left click. You might want to do this a couple times. See, I didn't get any parts there, like Ant Parts or Igris parts, but those will show up eventually, which is why you want to keep clicking in the bottom right. I'd calculate for like about 6 of these, but normally I just click for an extra 20 seconds. So this one will be 6 minutes and 30 seconds long. Make sure you click F8 to end the recording. And now, if you click Control-Shift-Alt-P, it'll play it, and it'll say that this is the first playback in the top right. And it'll continue to play. Place down my farming units. I'll do a time lapse just to show that it works, and I'll be right back. And it repeats itself, but that's all I wanted to do. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.